Hey, everybody, and welcome back to episode 38 of The Overlay, a poker podcast brought to you by CCG, Poker Radio, and Paramount Social Club, as well as TikTok, because Brandon is officially only on TikTok now.
I think it's my only social media platform moving forward, actually, guys.
Did you get, kicked off the other platforms?
No,
or?
not yet. I mean, I'm working on getting kicked off, but I haven't been censored yet, so I'm still full blown TikToking away.
Yeah, you would say you're taking a break from the other social medias.
A break.
This might be our fastest transition into the episode. The meat and potatoes of the episode is going to be poker breaks.
Breaktime.
Breaktime. Oh yeah, sorry. Rewind that. Episode 38. Breaktime. When I was a kid in high school, there was a pool hall by my house. It was right here on Route 59, just south of 88 in Naperville, and it was called Breaktime. It was like this huge pool hall. I mean, it was like half at a strip mall. It's a Dollar General now, so that's how big of a pool hall it was. It was awesome. It was super fun. And 16-year-old Kenny used to hang out in that pool hall way too much.
Do you see a lot of? I mean, it's Naperville pool hall though, so it's probably pretty nice.
I mean,
the pool halls by me were scummy. And
it's a Naperville rough joint. So it's how rough can it really be? But still, it was still pool hall. Even though the gangs
did you
there.
hustle kids or?
Oh yeah, and wow. Grown men. One guy broke my pool cue.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you send long ball in to rough them up? Or?
No, I ran away.
You ran away and cried? Yeah,
I left. My buddy and I left. John, we just guy was going to beat us up. We just left. It was great. I mean, when you're 17 hanging out in a pool hall at 1:30 in the morning, you're just asking for a little bit of trouble.
Right. There's nothing really good that can come out of it.
Right. You probably need a break. Hey.
You're either going to lose your money and go home, or you're going to win and everyone's going to get pissed and then you're going to get chased out of there. Correct. So it's a lose-lose.
Lose-lose. You cannot win that. Cannot win that. So anyways, episode 38. Break time.
Breaks.
What are we going to talk about breaks? Give us a rundown of this is an episode idea that we came up with.
Oh wow, I totally see you came up with this episode idea, so I thought you were going to take.
Oh, I'm in charge. Cool.
You're kind of in charge.
Got it. All right, breaks. We wanted to go over because I love the. There's two parts about breaks during poker that I love, and I think it's obviously two different sides, right? You got tournament breaks, and then as a cash game player, when should you take breaks? So I'd like to cover both sides.
Oh, that's nice. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, I
was just thinking tournament breaks.
Right, I was thinking both sides because there should be times that you take a break during the cash game and blah blah blah. But we'll get to that in the second half of the episode. First half is tournament poker breaks. We all know when the scheduled breaks are. You can always see those guys that are standing up, kind of bouncing up and down on their feet because they have to pee, and yet they're waiting to get their last hand in prior to the break, and there's 30 seconds left, and it's what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then there's that mad dash for the bathroom.
Yeah, that's always the number one key is the bathroom.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because it's really to scale because you go to a CCG event and there's only one small bathroom with two stalls and two urinals. So even though there's only 60 guys in the room, there's only 4 spots.
There's only 4 spots.
You get to the horseshoe, there's 500 people. Sure, there's 4 bathrooms with 9 stalls in each, but you still now have 100 people running to the bathroom.
Relatively speaking, it's still pretty.
And you go all the way up. Yeah, and then you go all the way up to WSOP, and you got 4,000 people.
Nice.
There's 30 bathrooms, but I mean, you still got guys running to the girls' bathroom to get in line first because that's one advantage of being a female in the poker community. The bathroom lines are very short.
Significantly shorter.
Yeah. I don't know.
When you play in a tournament, and you and I are not known for tournament play.
No, not really.
I'm not really.
We sprinkle.
I'm not even known for my cash game play, but I'm a good recreational player on both ends. However, so I don't know for the best people to ask, when you're in a tournament, does your stack size relative to the breaks and when you go, typically when I'm in a poker tournament and I gotta pee, I gotta pee and I just go pee. I don't wait. I'm not waiting for the break unless there's I happen to look up and notice there's 6 minutes left.
Then, you're on the last level. If you're on the last level, I'm all right, screw it, I can wait.
Yeah, I would say for me the window is maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, and it might even be 5 minutes, to be honest. If there was 7 minutes left, I might just go now. Obviously, it depends on where you're at in the orbit. Like if I'm under the gun, I'm not leaving. And then at that point, I'll be like, all right, I guess I'm waiting for the break because it's probably going to take enough time for the button to pass me before the level ends and blah, blah, that's fine. But yeah, I've never been like a big waiting 100% until the actual break and then running over there and then trying to jam in a bathroom break, jam in a couple of bad beat stories to my friends, which are few and far between for me. And then you got the smokers that are trying to run out to get some smoking in, whatever they're smoking, Maybe a quick snack.
Really, it's kind of weird how breaks kind of develop. First of all breaks aren't created equal, right? Like the first break before registration closes is going to be way different than the break on day 2 with 21 people left.
Okay, explain.
I mean, just, the first break, you're out there, registration's still open, you're talking about your table. My table's crazy. My table sucks. Mm-hmm. Everyone's smoking a cigarette. You're kind of congregating. There really is you're kind of telling a bad beat story. It's kind of relaxed and, you're just killing the 15 minutes.
So by definition, you're saying that if the registration period is not over, you are not allowed to tell you're not allowed to tell bad beat story.
Correct.
Like 1,000%. I almost said
yes.
I almost dropped an F-bomb. I do mark all of these as explicit, so I guess I can say fuck whenever I want, but like I feel weird saying it.
You're trying to be on your best behavior.
It's like, well, maybe
when we're on a phone call in a half hour ago, we're just dropping F-bombs left and right.
Right.
Now we're on the podcast.
It's the It's the idea of like CCG has been on a break for so long, so I don't get any adult interaction. All of my interaction right now is with my children, and I love them dearly. 6, 4, and 2. They are the most amazing little monsters I have ever met. But don't get me wrong. They're full-blown monsters. Like, they are monsters. And I've been trying to tame down the swearing because I'm used to, like, Poker Room Kenny, who's just MF, blah, blah. I'm just dropping F-bombs like Gary V style. And, of course, when I say to Harrison, yo, what the fuck, man? You can't go in a pantry? Like, I can't yell that to my 2-year-old, which I did yesterday as I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, ooh. And then Sawyer's like, Daddy. I was like, don't make me feel worse. Like, I'm on a break.
Yeah,
you need to go back to work.
When I go over to your sister's house and I say a bad word, I have to give Ellie $1.
Oh, nice. Yeah, see, mine.
Every time.
Ellie's a little bit older. Ellie's my niece. She's what, 8?
She's 8. She's 8.
So she's like in 2nd grade. There's a huge difference between 6 and 8. Just
Absolutely.
Like there's a huge difference between like 16 and 18. Jail or no jail,
Yeah, exactly.
There's a huge difference here. Anyways, we're getting way off topic, so I want to rein it back in. Breaks. So for me,
I don't know.
Tournament breaks are not a big deal. I don't look at them. I will say the only time I ever made a conscientious break, like thinking about it, was during the final table of that WSOP in February, which I think was the last live WSOP prior to close to the end of the pandemic, right? Or start of the pandemic, the horseshoe. And of course, then you're like at a final table. There's huge pay jumps and stuff. So I think at that point, you really make an effort to notice it. And I am a heavy peer. I pee a lot. I drink a lot of liquids. So I pee a lot. And I get nervous pees. Like when I'm anxious or I'm thinking about something. Or if I start thinking I can't go pee, I instantly have to pee. It's like a whole weird thing. Like I pee before I get on like a bus that's like a party bus and you're going to be an hour and a half in traffic going to Chicago. Remember party buses? Do I need to explain what party buses are during a pandemic because they're not allowed anymore?
People might have forgotten.
Yeah,
I remember.
Party bus is like a school bus, but there's like DJ lights and like a stripper pole in the middle and like you drink on it and you're like stuck in traffic and you're like going to bars. It's great. It's like a cool, fun limo / like school short kids school bus. But anyways,
you think there's any party bus company still in business? Or
Alex's brother-in-law owns a limo company and like he's not dying but like he got crushed. So shout out to M&M Limousines, M&M. It's a pretty cool name, so check them out if you need rides to the airport. Or they're doing these really awesome Valentine's Day date nights where you get your own limo and they like drive around. You do like takeout and then you like eat in a limo and it's kind of cool.
Kind of cute.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a great idea. I was just talking to Alex the other day about it. So hit up M&M Naperville. I think is what you could Google and very very easily find them. Yeah, so try that out. Give a little support to small businesses here in not only Chicago, but Naperville specific. We love them. Anyways, back to break time. What was I talking about in break time?
You were talking about you took a different break at the final table compared to the other breaks.
Yeah, I still ran off. And again, it's PLO, so I think you can always kind of gauge like how the action's going to go. Like if, I don't know, like when we were, like obviously it's not like CCG. It's CCG, in Chicago, when you get down to two tables, like all of the players, and it's like the court of popular demand. It's just like they've decided, the people have spoken, and this is what we're doing, even though it's not an official rule. It's not an official rule. There are scheduled breaks during these charity poker events, but it's like, oh, final table, we get a break. And I was just like, no, you don't. Like, you just move over. You're not on break. But yet they always move over, take a break. It's fine. It is what it is. But like, obviously at the WSOP, they don't follow those same like kind of house rules. And, it was very weird. So like when we were getting close to like down to like three tables and like, you're going to get close to reshuffling again, like I was more aware of those things and kind of watching the breaks. And it was nuts. Like it was, I found myself really focusing on them, and I don't know why. Maybe that helped, like my play, thinking about planned breaks, like when to eat, when to go pee, when to take a break and walk around. Like it was nice.
Yeah, I like spending the breaks like by myself. Like I don't like sitting out there next to all the smoker dudes, like inhale and smoke, listen to bad beats. Like I like to just walk away, do my own thing, go to a bathroom that's a 4-minute walk away, just to get some blood flow into your legs and get away from the crowd. And then, I'm more of like and it's weird because I'm more of a social person, but when it comes to breaks, like I just want to be left alone. Like I want to actually use this 15 minutes, guys. Like I don't want to sit out here, smoke a cigarette and talk.
Well, for you, the break is more of an actual mental break. Like
Correct.
I don't want to go and get all worked up on somebody else's bad beat. And that's what always gets me. Like when you're telling a bad beat story, like I feel like part of a story is for me to pay attention and listen and kind of be in the story with you. And it's like, I'm finding myself anxious and pissed off because you got a bad beat. Like, I don't care if you got a bad beat. I'm still in the tournament.
Correct.
I'm having a good time. Leave me alone. I like the idea of taking kind of like Lone Ranger breaks.
Like if I'm going to go engage with somebody, like I'm going to like have a discussion about like who we know at our table and like, what am I doing on this stack size or something like productive.
Right.
As opposed to just like blabbering on for 9 minutes and then scampering back into your big blind. Like it just seems like a waste of time. As far as bathrooms and me, I don't ever have to pee. So
really, you're like a camel?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, now that I'm drinking a gallon of water a day, it's a little bit crazy, but usually like I don't ever think the bathroom is not on my radar for breaks.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely something I have to think about.
Which I guess is kind of an advantage. Like I never even think about it. Like
what's funny,
come back from break, have to pee, and then make it till the next break before I pee.
It's funny because I always feel like my wife never has to pee, like ever. And then it's like, how do I have to pee 3 times when we're walking around and yet you don't have to do it at all? And that's kind of aggravating. So like it's unfair in a poker room that the women's room should be able to be used by men during the break because of the fact that they really don't have to pee as often in general.
They don't even pee anyways.
Right. Like that's bullshit. Sorry.
I mean, hey, you might as well just make this a cussing episode.
Yeah, we're
going to take a break from my PG and go to rated R.
Nice. All right, one quick thing I want to go over about breaks in general. I mean, I like this idea, and I thought, I'm like, oh yeah, we could totally fill 40 minutes full time on break time. Maybe we can't.
Also, 10 minutes, 15-minute break, massive difference, humongous difference. You can get a million more things done in a 15-minute break than, like, it triples the time.
Does it? Brandon, hold on. Let me check your math here.
10 times 3 equals 15. Yep. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Triple the time.
10-minute break. By the time you walk out of there, go to the bathroom, do anything, there's 3 minutes left and they're seating you back in your seats.
Let's discuss maybe as a poker room side when the break actually starts. Like some places just the timer starts at like, I feel like the WSOP does this. They're very like hands off, like break time hits. GD comes on, he goes, all right, everybody, we're on a 10-minute whatever break. Good, thanks, good luck. And then that's it. It's not like they pause the clock or do anything in that sense where it's like, oh, we're going to wait until the last hand finishes and then it's a 10-minute break. I've had times where there's like, I'm an all in on the short stack. I have no choice in leaving because obviously I'm all in. And it's like the entire break gets eaten up by the hand being played if you get a slow tanker, right? Like you don't get that break back. Like that kind of sucks.
It does kind of suck, but I mean that's your choice. You're playing the last hand. I mean, I know you got to get it in if you're going to get it in, but like if you want the break so bad, just fold. But they also, they're really good about enforcing that. Like you can't abandon your hand early to go on break just because break started. When you're on the button and the hand gets dealt, and you look down 7-deuce offsuit, like you really aren't allowed to just bolt towards the bathroom and abandon your hand.
You're going to get a warning. You're going to be in trouble for it.
I like that they enforce that or at least discourage it a lot because I feel like as you get down the stakes and downgrade the poker rooms, it's kind of just like a free-for-all. Right. And then it kind of really gives an advantage to the people who are like, well, this guy's folding, I'm raising. Because, there is something to be said about raising the last hand before break because people just want to buck and get out of there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which I'm not a fan of.
I'm not a fan of either.
Yeah, I don't like the playing out of turn thing, even though it's on break and everybody makes a mad dash for it. It's just, you got to be considerate of your
respectful to the game.
Well, and considerate of the other players, right? I feel like if people were more considerate in general, that would be a good thing. But, we'll see what happens. All right, break times
cash game breaks.
Tournaments. There are no scheduled breaks for cash game players.
Which is very intriguing because you have to make your own decisions on when to take a break.
Yeah. See, again, whenever my breaks are not given to me on a predetermined schedule, then I feel like it's a lot harder to decide. So let's do a couple things. One, you personally, when you're playing PLO at the Horseshoe, fucking 5 years ago, when did you take breaks? Did you try to take a break every 40 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes? Like, was there like a thought process? Did you only take breaks when you felt like you weren't playing optimally? Give us a rundown of your thought process of cash game breaks for you personally.
So it would be, I had two kind of general rules. One, I would never leave if the game was amazing.
Okay.
No matter how long. Like, if the game is amazing and people are going off, like, you have a limited amount of hands that these fish are spewing off. Like, I'm staying no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Where straight opposite of that, if the game kind of sucks, like, I'm going to just walk around for 20 minutes and kind of hopefully, like, one of the nits gets stacked or, they get tired of, they realize that I'm out of there and they have to play some hands. It kind of like maybe resets the table or freshens up the table because the worst nightmare is me being the one that's driving the action of the whole entire table every hand. And like, obviously it's fun, but it's how you lose.
I was going to say it's a really good recipe for winning a lot of small pots until you lose a huge one.
You're going to get coolered. Like they're just all waiting you out. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that happens, couple times a week where the game's just stale and it's stale for an hour and sometimes it's stale for 4 hours. So like at that time, like I'm automatically just taking a break. Even if I just got there, even if it's like I sat down, I played an orbit, I played 2 orbits, like nothing's going on. Like I've won 9 small pots and doubled the shorty up. Like I'm just going to take a meal or just take a 20-minute break and walk around. And, so that's kind of like my 2 golden rules is I'm never leaving if it's good and I'm always leaving if it's bad. And the thought process behind when it's bad is, again, just like hoping that the lineup changes a little bit. One of the guys goes home. Somebody gets stacked. Like the chips move around a little bit while I'm gone. So there's a different dynamic than when I'm back.
For sure. Now, is there like an etiquette rule wise, how long, how many breaks are too many breaks? Like, because we all have played with that person at the table who takes like, they just constantly get up from the table. I'm thinking of one gentleman in particular who did it right towards like throughout the whole summer when you've got 4 tables running because that's the limit that you're allowed to have for, COVID event spaces. And this MFer just keeps getting up. I don't want to say him by name or description or anything of those lines, but like, depending on the size of the game obviously matters, but like if you're playing at a full ring game, which apparently is 9 players now, how often should you be taking breaks?
Brutal.
What's too much?
There's a lot of people. I mean, there's solid 10, 15 guys at the Horseshoe that are like, they're going to go play craps like for 20 minutes out of every hour.
Mm-hmm.
And like, they just, cause you can miss two full big blinds you can miss. And then you get picked up on the 3rd one. So that's 3 orbits. Like that is a long time in PLO. That's 27 hands. You could be gone. and you can show back up, play another orbit or two, and then be gone for 27 hands. The problem is if you get two of those guys at the table, you're basically 7-handed the whole time.
Right.
And on top of that, they never play any hands when they're there, and then they're gone. And you have people on a list, and I mean it's their right to do it, but it's annoying. It is annoying. It's just bad etiquette. They don't even realize it's bad etiquette. And you can't say anything because it's not against the rules, but it's very, very, very annoying. So obviously you don't want to be one of those guys, but
no, don't be one of those guys.
Don't be one of those guys. Those guys are. I mean, then they show up and you end up going after them when they show up. It probably plays into their hands. They know that we're all annoyed and we're trying to stack them, and then they're like, ha ha ha, full house, and then they just double up. Then they go play craps again, and you're even more tilted, and it's just like a never-ending cycle of. So there definitely is a fine line of too much. Like if you're going to go to the poker to play poker, play poker. Take your breaks to take a break, but don't go play craps every hour.
Well, and then it's like the same thing.
Every orbit.
Yeah, I get it. Like you're allowed to do that, and it's not like you can complain about it. It is what it is. Like it's within their rights. It's fine. You know, it's like the guy who's going 65 in the left lane on the highway, and it's a 65-mile-an-hour zone. Like, yeah, that's fine. Like that's what's. But like that's not normal, and you're causing more accidents than what's actually, you know what I mean? Like move over then, go to a different game. Like why are you playing in a game with 40 people on the list that are dying to get in that want action? Like you need action and you want players that want to play. I don't want a player that's just going to sit there and occupy a spot that doesn't actually do anything. And the absolute worst thing, there are very few things in this world. I'll take this back. There are very few things in a poker room that will get a reaction out of me. I feel like I'm super easygoing. I'm there. I'm prepared to lose every nickel that I brought with me. So I never get mad about money. Don't get me wrong. I get pissed that I'm losing. But like I go to the casino and it's entertainment for me. Like I'm not going to try to like grind out like $15 an hour.
Pay your bills.
I'm going because I brought $500 with me and I want to play 1-2 and I'm going to splash around. And I just want to enjoy my time when I'm there. So bear that in mind. But the one thing that you're going to 100%, the likelihood 80% of the time, 100% of the time, I'm going to punch you in the face is if you take a 1-hour dinner break after you're the guy who smokes like every 10 freaking minutes and then comes back, asks for a dinner break after he wins a big hand, goes on dinner break, comes back and then dips when there's like a long list, the likelihood of getting a punch to the face by Ken is exponential. It's like 3-1. 3-1 against.
Yeah, like the only way that that's ever acceptable is like if actually something came up during dinner break where you're like, I have to go now. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and you like, because I've done that before. I've been on dinner break and I come back and I'm like, nah, this game sucks. Like, I got to go, like, blah, blah, whatever. But it's never usually after I win a huge pot either. Like, I'm not.
I was going to say, yeah, it's the combination of the just.
But it's the guy that gets from 200 to 2,000 in an orbit, takes a dinner break, full hour, comes back, racks. See you guys.
Yeah. Why didn't you just leave beforehand? Like you wasted everybody's time. Like
it's still a hit and run. You didn't play any more hands.
Right. And nobody, like, I don't even care about the hit and run part. Like
right,
that doesn't bother me. Like you wanted your money if you don't want to play anymore. Like I never feel like you should be obligated to play, like give players a chance to win their money back. No, that's not a real thing. Like if I win your money, it's mine. If I want to leave right now, I'm leaving. I'm only staying because I want to stay.
The only time that I think that the line of that gets shitty is when they play for a half hour, spin up 200 to 900, leave, then come back in 2 hours with 200 and do that 4 times in a day.
Yeah. What is the actual rule at like the horseshoe?
So it's 2 hours. And there's like a few guys that will honestly try and do it 4 times. They will go play PLO. They'll get 200 up to 700. They'll take their $500 winner. They'll go play 2-5 for 2 hours, try and grind out a $90 winner, only playing aces, come back up to a fresh PLO table with $200 again, spin it up to 1,000, cash out, eat dinner, go sit at the sports book for an hour, come back to the tournament, come back to the table with $200 again. And now it's like to the point where like, all right, this is kind of like abusing it's basically like online poker, but in real life. Haha, hit this table, go to the next table. Ha, hit this table. If you're going to be there for 9 hours, like you're just a idiot for doing that. I don't know.
Throw it out there. Yeah. You can say whatever you want.
I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, well,
because they're just That's the people that tilt me, even more so than the dinner breaks. The guys that I see 3 times in the night back at the feeder, then back to the main, resetting their stacks. Well, I'm sitting there the entire time.
I just don't understand that. Like, what are you trying to do?
Bank the money. They don't want to have. They don't want to lose a $4,000 pot.
I feel like if I don't know, let's say you got a really good hand, and let's say you're that guy that does that, and this is an advocacy to not to do this goofy get up and get down and wait the 2-hour limit, like you're bending the rules. Like, granted, it's within the rules. It's a douchey move. My thought process is
they do it every day. They do it every day.
If I turn my 200 into 1,000, and the reason I'm banking that 800 and trying to come back 2 hours later so that I got the 800, what if I come back the very next hand and there's like a huge pot and I got the stone cold nuts? Like, you lost money on that hand. If I'd have had 1,000, I would have quadrupled up. Now my 1,000 turns into 5K because it was a 5-way pot of $1,000 each. You know what I mean? Like, you lost money. You didn't win money.
Look at it that
you
way.
lost money. I look at it that way. I always look at, I want the largest amount of chips in front of me for the potential to win a bigger pot. Granted, you can lose more, but you know what? You can always fold. Like, it's my favorite line in rounders. You can't win much, or you can't lose if you don't put in the pot. Like, I know there's a second half to that, but you can't lose if you don't. Just don't. Yeah, go super.
But think of it from this
super pat knit.
They can lose 4. They can bank their 800, come back down with $200 barrels, lose 4 all-ins in a row, and still be even. That's the way they look at it.
But that's stupid.
I agree. I'm not advocating for them. Those are the guys I want to punch in the face more than anybody. But
yeah, I just don't.
Those are the guys they're just wussies, is what they are, for lack of a better word. I'll use the W. They're wussies because they see me and Wizard and 4 other guys with $3,000 chip stacks, and they got their 1,200, and they don't want to risk 1,200 to win 2,400, even if they have the nuts. Like, they would much rather try their luck with 200 again. It's dumb. It's dumb, and I hate it, and I don't know how we turn into this, but number one pet peeve is that.
I guess there's people that want to do that. It's just, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it works. I think it's a bad plan.
Right. Don't take a break after you just tripled it up and then leave and come back 2 hours later. Don't do that break.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that the leave after the dinner break. Just leave and go on to dinner, and you're not worried about an hour. Like,
I'm going to go backwards really quick to get kind of back on to track a teeny bit. When you said dinner break in tournaments, I don't think we probably don't have enough time to hear my story, and I've already told it on this podcast, but don't go to the buffet and stuff yourself on dinner.
Wait, I don't remember that story. What happened?
Oh, this is my HPT day 2 dinner break story with 13 left.
Oh, no, tell it, because I don't remember it. I don't know if you've ever told this story.
I can make it quick. We're at Ameristar. They opened that new bar on the bottom.
If you did tell this story, it was in episode 6. Is it a run good story or a bad story? Bad beats.
It's bad beats.
Nah, I don't know. Run good stories was episode 6. That was a good one.
So if you're going to Ameristar and you're facing those escalators to go upstairs to the HPT
there's like that little food court down there.
Yes, there's a food court on the right. Then they built like a bar on the left, like a brand new sports bar.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're on dinner break, day 2, HPT, 111K to first. There's like 18 left. Maybe there's 3 tables left at dinner break, like 21 left. We're weighing the money. Me, Serene, White Sox Brian, all in. They go to Sbarro and get like a slice of pizza. I go over and get this like half-pound loaded burger, fries, fondue, cheese stuff, whatever. Just just this huge burger. It was like $24.99. I'm starving. I mean, I haven't eaten anything. Like, I have that and like a beer. I like slug this thing down, get it medium rare, like eat 3/4 of it. I'm like, oh, I just feel bloated. And they're like, all right, break time's over. Let's come back to the table. Come back to the table, play for about an hour. We get down to, this is right where I get eliminated. So get down to like 15, 14 left, like 7 and 7. I've never been this deep in a live tournament. 211K to first. Like, I get back in there. I double up ace queen versus king queen. I have king queen, flop a flush draw, river the flush. Then I literally 2 hands later, double up queens versus jacks and hold. And so now I go from like one of the shorter stacks to like 8th, 7th, 6th, like definitely like in the final table stack of chips. Like I just made my run from 8 big blinds doubled up to 16, doubled up to 32. Like, I am Gucci. I am good. Like, I can grind out this thing. So then comes and my stomach just starts rumbling and bumbling, and it's feeling really, really, really terrible. So I decide, I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't know which end this food's coming out of, but I got to go to the bathroom. Like, there's no way.
One of them is coming out.
Correct. So, I mean, I'm feeling like absolute, like, clammy and sweaty and just like, I can't even concentrate on poker. And if I ever need to concentrate on poker, it's right now. So I decide I'm like 2 or 3 away from the big. I'm kind of in middle position. So I'm like, now's the perfect time. I'm not going to steal the blinds in this spot. I'm probably going to fold every hand. I'll make it back before my blinds. This is my like mental, like, I got a solid 5 minutes. So I go into the bathroom, do my thing, comes out the front end. My eyes are watering. There's somebody else in the bathroom. Like, you okay, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I like wash my face, like take off my hoodie because I put it in my backpack because there's some debris.
Right.
And it's
You're
gross.
sweaty.
I mean,
it's awful.
Yes, and I mean, like, I finally like compose myself. I get back into the poker room. I run back. I'm under the gun. Look down at Jack 9 suited of diamonds, and I'm like, sweet, raise it up. Like, instantly, I'm like, I just missed 4 hands. Like, raise up the Jack 9 suited. Big blind re-raises, minimum. I call, and it comes ace, something, something, diamond, diamond, diamond. We get it all in. I have Jack high flush on the flop and hold him. This is a great hand. He has aces, and it runs out 6-6 board pair, and I bust for a chip lead pot. And I mean, literally chip lead pot with 13 left. I got 13th. And like, I swear that like this all happened because of the burger. Like, it goes back to the freaking burger and like how I shouldn't have like
if you'd have just gone to Sbarro's.
If I just would have went to Sbarro, but I didn't. I wanted to have my loner break. I didn't want to talk to those two that smoke cigarettes and complain about bad beat stories. Like, I want to just be off by myself. And what I swear, I never would have raised that hand if I didn't just go to the bathroom and puke all over the place.
Nice.
I never would have. I would have just I would have just folded. I'm in the zone. You know, I'm folding. You don't play Jack 9 suited under the gun. You do that in the cash game. You don't do that with 14 left in the tournament. And then I was frustrated, and the big blind, Gary, he ended up winning the tournament. Of course, he wins the tournament. Gary Ball, Gary Hurstein,
Hellstern.
Yeah,
Hurstein.
He's the one that busted me there with aces.
Did he end up winning like the HPT like Player of the Year, or was he just in the race?
I think he got second.
Yeah,
I think he got second because he got miracled by a dude that needed to win it, and Ari Angle needed to like win it, and then he won it. Yeah, that was that year. That was that year because he won mine. So, anyways, moral of the story is don't use that dinner break and, you know, eat a salad, eat something light. Because looking back on it, like, seriously, it ruined the rest of my tournament. And I know I can be results oriented and say, yeah, I could have won that pot and everything would have been fine 2 hours later. But like, it still caused me to like deter from my focused game. And like, obviously I probably missed aces all 3 hands. I was in the bathroom. Because I mean, probably we'll never know. Because you always have aces when you run to the bathroom for 1 hand, right? That's the logic. So I came back and I really, you know, I was off my game. I should have thought about playing Jack 9. I didn't, and it cost me the whole tournament. And I got 5,000. So final table was like 18,000 for 9th. So I was like right where you start making actual money. And it was just a feel bad story that I really kind of cost that one myself, and it kind of sucks because I've never been back to a big spot like that since. So that's all I got.
I get that one.
Sucks.
It does suck.
Use your breaks wisely.
And be careful of your breaks because, because that's kind of what happens in cash games, right? And then we'll kind of wrap this up. There's one other thing I want to talk about. But, you know, like cash game breaks, I feel like that exact scenario, like I find myself doing that a lot. Like I almost feel like I always love the guy that comes like rushing back from leaving the table to like get that very next hand, and then like they go broke, and it's like, bro, if you just would have been a normal person, walked over here, you'd still have chips left over. But yep. I guess you never really know because it's just kind of, is that where you start getting very Forrest Gump, like is life a box of chocolates? You never know what you're going to get, or is our fate predetermined, Brandon? Fate was going to have you eat that cheeseburger and throw up in the bathroom so you could come home or come back to the table and bust on that tournament, and then that way you could tell that story several years later on your very own personal poker podcast. Pretty awesome.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's a stretch. A little bit of a stretch.
If the podcast makes me 211K, I'll feel better about it.
Yeah, we'll see. So if you guys can,
422K.
Yeah, we're going to start a GoFundMe page for Brandon. would be great.
I should have got first in the tournament. I only got 13th and tripled my money, guys. So
it's all right.
Let's work on that.
That's like Manoli going.
Fondle,
Manoli at my final table. I got second at least, and Manoli was like, "Man, come on, you have everything. I have nothing. Let me win this." And I was like, one, I'm not going to just roll over and let you win. Two, you're going to have to beat me. And three, I'm really kind of hoping to crush some dreams today. That's what I came out here for, to crush dreams. I want you to go home tonight and think, gosh, I want this to be a defining moment in your life of, man, if I had just won that WSOP event, life would be so much better. Anyways, I will close out.
Manoli won.
He did Manoli. He has a ring. I do not. I'm a little jealous when I see him every day at work. It's kind of rough. He was cool though.
I mean, he still wears the ring.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm surprised. I told him when he was ready to pawn it, just let me know and I'll hold on to it for him. It could have been my ring. I think I want to close the episode, our break time episode, with the number one. This man knows how to take a break during tournament poker. And do you know who it is, Brando? We watched his vlogs during the summer, during the WSOP.
Oh, Negreanu? Daniel
Negreanu, who I'm not a huge fan of. I think he's a little quirky and kind of, I'm not going to say douchey, but I'm not a fan. I don't ever see myself
he's douchey.
Of being Daniel Negreanu's friend. Not that he wants to be my friend or has reached out to be my friend, but I just don't think I would do it anyways. However, I like to watch his vlogs. I think he's got a very unique way of kind of talking about poker, and it's an experience that I think we don't get. It's like the rock star poker experience, and that guy's got a legit pimped out RV in the back of the casino, in the employee parking lot. He gets to go through all the tunnels and stuff behind the scenes of a casino, because he's a celebrity.
He has a backstage pass. Yeah,
correct. He gets to go back to all the employee spots and legit hangs out in his own RV, and that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's nuts. He has satellite TV and a Nintendo Switch, and Phil Ivey takes a deuce in his trailer occasionally, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, and he really goes into detail about what he's doing on break and why he's doing it.
Right, which is awesome.
And it's pretty cool. If you ever want to know how to take a break, that's probably the optimal spot.
Watch it, because I feel like half of the vlog is done in that trailer RV, whatever you want to call it, and it's very cool. And I feel like that's the only thing I'd be jealous about at the WSOP would be to have my own awesome trailer. It's dope. It's pretty cool. Anything else you want to add, Brando?
No, I think you just be conscious of what you're doing on break and don't let them just slip by and don't do anything, because it's not productive. You can be doing something productive during break, and it seems to me that the people that win tournaments are having better break times than me. Maybe it's just because they have better strategy in general, and those guys are gonna
they rehydrate, they
breaks,
eat good snacks,
smart.
Right? Mentally, they're prepared to do it. I'm just running around saying hi to people, being a goof, I'm
actually reading a book right now that's if you're just 1% better every day, it ends up being so much over a year. Whether if you get 1%
in all
worse
honesty,
every day,
after 100 days, you really can't be more than 100% better than you were 100 days ago. After 100 days, you just stop doing it. Then you're just trying to maintain.
No, but if you get 1% better every day for a year, you end up at 1.68%. So you improve by 68%. But if you get 1% worse every day, you're down to 3% of your initial 100 after a year. So you're basically down to nothing if you get 1% worse. But if you get 1% better, you go 0.68x, which sounds stupid, but it's those small little things that they do better than you that is the reason they're making it in the tournaments farther than you.
Yeah,
you can improve
you're really
40 small things.
You're falling deep into that 78-day challenge, huh?
75-day challenge.
Whatever. But I'm adding 3 days. I got it 3% better than you.
Yikes, I'm going to have to add 3 days to this challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, it's just the stupid little small things that you think don't matter. Enough of those small things actually matter. And maybe break is just, 15 minutes to not play poker to you. But to other people, it's 15 minutes of I'm doing something better than you guys. I'm getting an advantage.
Well, and again, it's the idea of, I know this is kind of a silly episode. Do we really want to do an entire episode on breaks at a tournament and the guys who smoke pot in the parking lot at the Horseshoe, during the WSOP? Haha, it's so funny. But I think you kind of keyed on something there that's a good way to close out the episode is that, really good tournament players, I feel like, use their breaks wisely. They use them to better themselves in the tournament for whatever that is. Maybe they need a little bit of a mental break. Maybe they need to study quickly on something that they had experienced or maybe you know what I mean? Like they're using the time to make their play better. Where I'm normally like, am I going to get a Snickers bar or am I going to be healthy and try to get some nuts? And then I'm like, maybe nuts in my mouth,
Maybe they're playing against somebody that their friend is a regular against. Like maybe Eric is playing somebody at his table is somebody that I play with all the time at CCG. He's going to come ask me about that player.
What does this guy do? What's he like? Who, what's his gameplay?
Which is now information that he's going to have on that player more than anybody else at the table is going to have. Just like stupid little things like that.
I feel like I've wasted every single break that I've ever had in my entire life.
Me too. Thinking about it now, I'm like, man,
yeah, I feel much worse about myself, but it is what it is.
And same thing with before we go. Cash game players, take breaks at the right times. Don't just be like, now's the time to take a break. Let me take a break. Like, think about it. Like, why am I taking a break right now? Do I need to take a break right now? Should I be taking a break right now? Not just like, I'm going to stand up and go get a slice of pizza because I think I'm hungry.
Right. Be aware.
This fish is smoking thousands of dollars. I can wait until 9 o'clock to eat.
Right. I will pee in my pants versus leave this table for 5 minutes because you could miss something that could be very profitable. I do want to give out a couple of Twitter shout outs. Hopefully you guys listen to the end here. Right before we got on, I posted on Twitter. This is Thursday at like 1 o'clock. I was like, hey, about to do an episode if anybody wants a shout out. And we actually got some responses. So I know, pretty dope. Big shout out to the Milwaukee Mob. He is always commenting on the overlay. He always comments on CCG, and actually he follows Paramount. The guy's out of Milwaukee, probably never even thought about Paramount in any way, shape, or form.
He's in Wisconsin, and
he's totally super supportive on Twitter, like always retweeting our stuff, like answering our funny questions, and like it's super cool. Like I wish I had more guys like them. He does have a book out. His I think his pen name is Mr. Big, which is just kind of dope in general. He does a lot of Las Vegas stuff. It's very like organized crime and like Chicago, Milwaukee. It's cool. I like him. He seems like an awesome guy. And he's always talking about coming to a CCG event, but we've never been able to make it happen because of this whole like weird coronavirus thing. Number 2 shout out goes out to Chad McVean, who is the #1 podcast supportive promoter in all of Canada. I said it, folks. What I booked it. It's Canada. Yeah, he's Canadian. I just found that out. Like I used to be like, Chad, you're awesome. And then I was like, he's in Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Chad, if you're wondering, Americans, we're okay. I don't know what you're hearing about us. We're
fine.
All right down here, cool. Man. I promise you.
Shit's getting weird, but we're going to be fine. Biden is going to pass a law to make online poker legal in the United States. Poker will be great again. If I was Joe Biden, I would come up with a slogan that says, make poker great again. Maybe that's a little too touchy, but we'll go from there. So huge shout out to Chad. He always retweets our posts, and he's got a pretty big following. He literally says in his Twitter bio, is that what it's called? A Twitter bio?
Yep, it's a bio.
Poker and podcast aficionado. So he's also a member of the @RecPoker Wrecking Crew, spelled REC, #PokerLife, #PodLife. He's actually really awesome. He's always posting about our stuff, so that's super cool. And then actually our last shout out was for somebody shouting out that, yes, Chad deserves a shout out. Chris from Out of Position, which is an awesome Twitter handle. It's out of position _ between the ofs. Like, that's dope. I just followed you, Chris, because awesome name. And 2, thanks for giving Chad a shout out because he does deserve. He's always, if you like poker and you like the Overlay podcast, and you like podcasts in general, he's a good guy to follow because he's always putting out stuff of like, good podcasts to listen to. Plus, he likes us, so that's good.
Sweet.
Episode 38. Thanks for listening. As always, hit that subscribe, rate us, review us, share us with your poker playing friends. It is middle of January 21. And I think the closures in Illinois are coming to a fast end. I'm hoping, I think Pritzker's doing his update right now, or is it pretty close? Does he do it like at 3 o'clock? Anyways,
3 o'clock.
Hopefully we're going to get some information today of when Charity Poker will be back in Illinois. Poker in Texas, it might be the new Mecca. Like, Texas is bananas. They get lots of peeps.
I'm moving to Texas.
I kind of want to move to Texas too. I jokingly said to Lindsay, like, we can move to Austin. It's pretty cool. The weather's great. Yeah, it's what I want to do. Paramount wants to expand somewhere else. Like, that's a good spot. Anyways, thanks for listening. Hopefully we'll see you at a poker event soon. Brandon, lead us off.
Guys, we're going to take a 2-week break. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
No, we're not. It's our normal schedule every first and third Friday of the month. Come on, bro.
That's every 2 weeks. That's a 2-week break.
Oh, yeah. All right. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.